Morning, everyone. Right, so today you're doing something a little bit different, and this is the same if you're in year 3, year 4, year 5, or year 6. You're all doing the same thing. So if it's Monday today, then you are going to be doing a test called the PTM. And this is a test which is going to look at your skills in maths. And today's test, if it's Monday, is mental arithmetic. Tomorrow's test is going to be a general maths test, kind of all sorts of different skills. Then on Wednesday, you're going to be doing what's called a PTE. That's an English test, and that one will be spelling and grammar. Then the final thing you'll do on Thursday is going to be your comprehension test. So basically from today until Thursday, you're going to be doing little assessments. Now, some of these assessments will take the whole of your session. Some of them will take only a part of your session. But whatever they take, you mustn't try and do more than one in one session, okay? So let me just explain what they are. So let's start with the PTM, okay? And this is the progress test in maths. This is a way of us kind of getting an idea of what you're really, really good at, what your strengths are, and what you might need to help you get better. So it'll spot some gaps and it'll spot some strengths. Now that will be sent to the teachers. You won't get feedback at the end of the test. It won't tell you your score, but it's really helpful for us, and it helps us to plan for the last few weeks of term. It also helps us to plan for next year and just to think, what can we do to help this particular person? So you're going to be doing that. Now today, you're going to be doing the mental arithmetic if it's Monday. So let me just show you how to get onto it. So you need to go onto your classwork section and you need to go onto maths. So if you're in year 3, you go to year 3 maths. If you're in year 4, you go to year 4 maths, etc. And you're going to try and find a section called PTM assessment. And you click on that and you will see that there is a little PDF document here. Now, you've already got to it, hopefully, because you're watching the video. But this video, you need to watch this video to the end, and then you're going to click on this section. Now, I've set this up so that it's not showing anybody's names, and it's not going to be doing anything like that. So these are just examples. Now, what you do, once you see this page, you can see there'll be 6 names here, and you need to pick just your name. And you go to, so let's say my name is Test G. It sounds like I'm certainly not going to be a math teacher anymore if I do that. Anyway, so I click on this link here. And once I clicked on the link, it'll ask me for an access code. So I go back to the page. Now, because my name is Test G, I go to here. I will copy that and I put that onto here. Okay. And then I will press login and it will show me 2 tests. Today's test, or if it's Monday, is the mental maths. Tomorrow's test is the PTM. Now, the levels will change depending on which year group you're in. Don't worry about that. We've already set all of that up for you. As long as it says PTM level and then something, you're in the right place. Now, before you go any further, there are some things that you must do. You must be on a computer. I'm afraid you can't do this on an iPad. You can't do this on any sort of other tablet. You can do it on a Chromebook. So if you have a Chromebook, that's great, but you will need to have a mouse for that Chromebook. Otherwise, you're going to really, really struggle to do any of the tests from today until Thursday, because the touch screen makes things a bit more complicated. You're also going to need to either have a good pair of headphones where you're not going to hear what's going on around you, or even better, a quiet room for you to work in, so that you can be away from everyone else. If you've got an annoying brother or sister or a barky dog, now is your moment to have an excuse to get rid of them. Chuck them out of the house. The other thing you're going to need is some paper, and that's for the English and the maths tests, and some pencils for making notes and doing some working out, and I'll explain a little bit more about that in a second. Okay, so once you've got those things, so you've got yourself a computer or a Chromebook, you've got yourself headphones or a quiet room, paper and pencils, then you are ready. So you might want to pause the video now, get those things ready, and then unpause the video once you're set, and I can go through a little bit more for you. Okay, so we're now looking at the screen for the maths test, the PTM. So you can see there are 2 parts here, and I'll say it one more time. Please do not do the mental maths test and the other test on the same day. It's not a good idea, and they're not set up to do that. The next thing I need to tell you is, unfortunately, these tests have to be done completely on your own as soon as you've pressed start. So of course, an adult can help you get set up. They can help you get the screen ready. They can help you get your mouse ready. But as soon as you press start on the test, this is all about your knowledge. So you can't ask for help. You can't ask for something to be read in a maths test or in the reading test. You can't ask an adult to explain what a word means. So I'm going to try and do all of the intro stuff, but after that bit, I'm going to be hopefully the last adult voice you hear, and then you're going to get on with the test. If you have any really big issues, something that's going wrong, something that you just can't explain, or even maybe at home someone can't explain it, then you can get on Zoom and any of your teachers will be on there waiting for you. So you can just go straight to them. All right, so let's just see what it looks like. So we've got our mental maths test on Monday and our general maths on Tuesday. So you will need, for the mental maths test, basically nothing. You could try and do some jottings, but just be careful because some of the questions are only 5 seconds long. And if you are writing something down, you're going to miss putting down the answer and you're going to miss the question completely. So I would say only use your pencil and paper for the longer questions at the end. There are 3 sections, 5-second questions, 10-second questions, and 15-second questions. Obviously, you are not allowed a calculator, and you're not allowed a calculator in either of the maths tests. So let's just have a little look. Now, there's going to be some reading. The lady's going to read out some instructions. So if she starts talking over me, I'll stop talking. Let's have a look. So when you press start test, this is what's going to happen. So you see this practice test button. When you press this, it's going to start. Now the lady will start talking. But one thing you need to know is normally she won't have anything written on the screen. She'll just tell you. So if your headphones aren't working, your speakers aren't great, you really need to fix those before you press start because there's not going to be anything written on the screen. There's just going to be some blue boxes and that's where you're going to put your answers. Let's have a little look.
Listen carefully to my instructions. I will ask you a series of questions. You will only have a short time to answer each question. After that, the computer will move on to the next question. To start with, I will ask you 3 very easy questions so you can get used to using the computer. If you have any trouble answering these questions, ask your teacher for help.
Now at this point,
type the number 2 in the first box and the number 4 in the second box.
She'll repeat each question twice.
Type the number 2 in the first box and the number 4 in the second box.
And it'll go on to the next question. Don't worry about these. They're not going to get you any marks and they're so easy that you don't have to worry.
2 plus 2. The numbers are shown on the screen as a reminder. What is 2 plus 2? The numbers are shown on the screen as a reminder. Look at these numbers. Click on the numbers 2 and 4.
You can see they go blue when I click them.
Look at these numbers. Click on the numbers 2 and 4. Now the real test is about to start. Your teacher will not be able to help you once the test has started. If you have any questions, please ask them now. When your teacher tells you, click on the Start Test button.
Now, at this point, if there's any issues, anything hasn't looked good on the screen, you can't read something, you can't hear something, you must not press Start Test because when that happens, on the mental arithmetic test, the timer will start and you cannot stop it. On the mental arithmetic test, you can't go backwards. You can only go on to the next question. So make sure if there's anything you're not sure of at this point, you go straight onto Zoom or you ask Mummy and Dad to help you at home and get things fixed. As soon as you press that start, and I'm not going to press it now, once you press that start, the questions will begin. They won't have written questions. You have to listen to them and then you put the answer onto the blue box. Okay, so that's the PTM. Hopefully that helps you a little bit. Now let's have a quick look and see the PTE. Now this is the English version of exactly the same test. So if we go to the PTE test, we go to the same website. We're going to pick a code. So I'm going to change my name to Test E. There we go. And let's just get this. Here we go. Now this is the PTE. So this is going to be your Wednesday and your Thursday. There's 2 parts here. There is a spelling and grammar part, and there's a comprehension part. So part 1 is spelling and grammar, part 2 is comprehension. In these, just like on the second maths test, there's no timer. You can take as long as you want doing these. I mean, don't take 16 hours, but you can take as long as you want. And that means you should take time to read the questions really carefully before you answer them. This is not a rush. You won't get any awards for doing it fast. In fact, it doesn't make any difference to your score. There are a few worked examples on here. Excuse me. But it says, put your hand up if you have a question. If you put your hand up, I'm afraid I can't see it, and nor can any of your English teachers. So you're going to need to go onto Zoom if there's any questions, and your teachers will be ready for you. On the comprehension, you've got to make sure you read the text. So that's the Thursday task. You've got to read the text really carefully. There's actually quite a few pages for it. And if you're reading it and trying to answer the questions, you can go back to the text. You can press buttons which say back to questions and back to text, and you can keep checking your answers against what's written for you. Now, at the end of the PTE, just like at the end of the PTM, there's an end test button. Now, if you don't press that button, it will not save your answers, and we won't be able to see how you've done. Okay? Now, don't worry, don't stress. This is not a really, really, really important test that's going to determine anything really high pressured. It's just for us to see gaps. And of course, we haven't seen you guys for so long. We're missing you very much, but we haven't seen you for so long that it's quite difficult to get a really good idea of what we need to do when we start in September. So please do that. If you are one of those people who is unfortunately leaving us, this will also help us because we're going to be able to suggest to your new schools what things you might need to do. Okay, so have a go. If you need any extra help, go back onto Zoom and get in contact with your teachers, and they'll be able to help you.